So the Oscars is, losing its power over the film industry. Oscars, it used to be like 10 years ago even, used to be this club that everybody tried to be a part of. It was this huge thing that everybody likes. But Oscar Bait feels is the end of award show that smaller movies were nominated over hit box office for Best Picture because of DEI requirements, according to experts. And usually Hollywood tries to get everything, everybody a chance, as well here. But they said that a lot of people who usually vote in the Oscars are not voting. The Oscars, I think, are tomorrow, you know, as well at Hollywood, Dolby Theater, with viewers and even voters who determine the nominations are not too excited. And yeah, Hollywood really has screwed themselves over with the wokeness and woke ideologies that literal people who have been voting on the Oscars for decades are not voting at all. Yeah. Again, the Oscars should allow like the actual people to vote what's the best movie of the year, not just like a bunch of tabloids. Same thing with like the Grammys. Like, why don't they allow what the people say is the best movie or the best? And I do think like allow like the film there are tons of film critics. I don't think it like that are not faint that are not like a part of like a tabloid that don't get to tell us what here. But Hollywood has been trying to do the best to put DEI in the movies, and it just seems that for example, there are so many movies they have basically rejected and just kicked out because yeah. Ariel insisted if those were in touch with the every moviegoer, they were now Deadpool and Wolverine or Inside Out 2. Again, Hollywood's been out of touch for years and decades as well. Again, Oscars was supposed to celebrate film and the film industry, which is why, movies that actually were good, usually were nominated, like The Lord of the Rings was, I think. Because a movie has to be exceptional to be nominated. But it isn't like that anymore. They will nominate, they just nominate whatever crap they want to nominate. Like, why is Wicked there? Okay, but not Deadpool or Wolverine or Inside Out 2. Okay, when those are clearly the highest selling movies of the year, and usually some of the highest selling movies of the year usually make. Of course, movies like Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen are not going to make it. But, even though that was like the highest grossing movie of that year, I think. But, but even like Oscar voters are saying they're not voting anymore because of the Oscars. Okay, we're not taking into account of popular taste when it comes to making these choices. Oscars have been out of touch with the actual people for years. For example, not giving Deadpool or Wolverine Oscar nominations at all. Like, despite, they always make but it's a blockbuster movie. It should not be nominated, but still is a movie that people actually like and made $1.3 billion. Okay, they literally nominated movies that nobody cares about. Okay, and that's the problem with the Oscars. They nominated movies that people really don't care about. Like, no one went to go see any of these movies, especially like The Complete Unknown. Like, no one went to go see that movie. No one went to go see that one movie that they nominated, Emilia Perez. It just seems that the Oscars is just still so out of touch, and they always have been. We always talk about every year how the Oscars are out of touch. But even like the last couple years, they did nominate Avatar and Top Gun. 2023, they nominated Barbie and Oppenheimer for awards, and Spider-Verse even as well. Giving those movies nominations in 2022. They put Top Gun and Avatar for nominations. Yes, they didn't win, obviously, but they still nominated them in 2021. I don't know if it was two ways to nominate No Way Home, but even No Way Home had a few nominations as well. And I get they're not supposed to give all these huge blockbuster movies nominations, but even in 2019, they gave Joker and Avengers Endgame several nominations. As well, in 2018, they gave Infinity War and Black Panther, I think, nominations for like several awards, and Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, these are still amongst the highest grossing movies of the year. These are still movies people actually talk about. But this is the last time Hollywood has been that out of touch, I think, was in 2013, where none of the highest grossing movies were nominated outside like one section of there. Which is kind of strange considering these are the highest selling movies of the year. And I get the top four highest selling movies are not really movies that critics really cared for. But they still could have nominated like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or Thor Ragnarok or Wonder Woman, for Oscars. as well. But again, usually I think the reason why is usually blockbusters are not really, that worthy. Like Zootopia, so like so again, the biggest disrespect the Oscars usually do is towards animation and animated movies, obviously as well. They typically do not give animated movies the light of day, which is pretty sad because they see them as only like kids media or something like that. That's how they literally treat animated movies. Well, yes, I don't expect Minions or Despicable Me movies to be nominated, but a lot like some of these highest grossing movies, like Age of like sometimes these movies like Age of Ultron should not be nominated. Obviously, like Inside Out, that's one of the highest grossing movies of 2015. They could have easily nominated. The Force Awakens as well. It doesn't always have to be these no-name movies that no one cares about outside of film buffs and people who constantly who watch like every movie. There are tons of people, even myself. I used to be a big film buff, but I mostly just watch the casual big movies now. And Hollywood really has done this. Like, if I think Hollywood has really done this to themselves. If you really think about it, I used to like movies. I used to enjoy movies. I used to watch a lot of new movies every year. But Hollywood has kind of ruined that trust with a lot of people. Okay, and that's why I keep saying in the videos we really should have an alternative to Hollywood because Hollywood continues to shoot themselves in the foot. Like there hasn't been a single movie this year. It's already March that I want to see. Yeah, that's how bad this year's lineup of movies is so far. And I think this month there's almost nothing I want to see, which is pretty funny. I know some people say I'm going to see Mickey 17, but that movie's not going to make any money. Like Mickey 17 is projected to open to 18 million opening. Okay, again, not a part of a franchise, and guess what? No one is going to go see this movie. And that's what this video here. Goodbye.